In 1966, Oldsmobile won Motor Trend's Car of the Year by doing something no American car had attempted in nearly 30 years, putting a 425 cubic inch V8 engine on the front wheels. Then somehow, America forgot it ever existed. Dealers across America stood in disbelief when the Toronado arrived. Under the bright lights of 1966 showrooms, Oldsmobile's new coupe looked nothing like the chrome-heavy giants parked beside it. The hood stretched on for days, the headlights vanished behind a seamless grille, and the floor inside ran flat from door to door. No hump, no tunnel, just open space. People ran their hands across the carpet, trying to figure out where the drive shaft had gone. Underneath, the answer was even more startling: a 425 cubic inch Rocket 5.8, all that power sent straight to the front wheels. Not since the Cord 810 of 1937 had an American car dared to drive from the front. Yet here was Oldsmobile, rolling out 31,144 Toronados in a single year, a production run that left rivals scrambling for explanations. Motor Trend's Car of the Year trophy landed on the Toronado's hood, and the press called it the most advanced American car of its time. The question on everyone's mind was, how did they pull it off? The secret to the Toronado's radical layout was the Unitized Power Package, engineer John Beltz's answer to fitting a giant V8 and an automatic transmission up front without crowding the passenger cabin. Instead of a traditional drive shaft running to the rear, the Toronado's 425 cubic inch Rocket V8 sat lengthwise, bolted directly to a heavy-duty turbo-hydromatic 425 transmission. But the real twist came just behind the engine. A hardened steel chain running in a loop carried power from the transmission forward to a compact front differential. This chain drive, protected by a torsional damper, was the heart of the UPP. It allowed the entire powertrain to fit as a single, tight module, no tunnel, no hump, just a flat floor from door to door. The result was a car with a 55-45 front-to-rear weight split, a lower center of gravity, and handling that surprised everyone. Motor Trend measured a 33-foot turning radius, tighter than a Cadillac Eldorado or Lincoln Continental. On the road, the Toronado felt planted and quick to respond, even with nearly 400 horsepower going to the front wheels. The service manual called for a chain inspection every 30,000 miles, a small price for the freedom this setup offered. For the first time in decades, an American coupe delivered V8 muscle and modern road manners, thanks to a powertrain that was as daring as its design. Stan Willen and Don Rusin, Oldsmobile's lead stylists, set out to draw a coupe that looked like nothing else on the road. Their earliest sketches from 1963 captured a silhouette Americans had never seen. A long hood stretching out in front, a crisp, short rear deck, and a roofline that swept back in a single, unbroken arc. The Toronado's fastback profile wasn't just for show. It became the blueprint for General Motors' personal luxury coupes, echoed by the 1967 Buick Riviera and Cadillac Eldorado. But it was the hidden headlights that truly set the car apart. Instead of chrome bezels and round lamps, the Toronado wore a smooth, unbroken grille. At the touch of a switch, vacuum-actuated doors would lift to reveal the headlights, a trick borrowed by rivals in the years that followed. This clean front end, paired with the car's wide stance and flat floor, created a sense of space and modernity that stood in sharp contrast to the Baroque forms of the era. The Toronado's look didn't just break with tradition. It quietly started a new one, as designers across Detroit scrambled to match its presence. By the late 1960s, the Toronado's bold experiment was quietly losing ground. While Oldsmobile engineers were perfecting chain drives and flat floors, the rest of Detroit was busy chasing a different dream. Ford's Mustang and Chevrolet's Camaro stormed onto the scene, offering V8 power and head-turning style at prices young buyers could actually afford. Magazine covers and television ads shifted focus almost overnight, trading stories of engineering breakthroughs for tales of quarter-mile times and burnout contests. In that new world, the Toronado's 12 miles per gallon and a $6,500 sticker looked like yesterday's news. Sales slipped from nearly 29,000 in 1967 to just 23,571 by 1968. When the 1973 oil embargo hit, long lines at gas stations made big block luxury a tough sell. Later, Toronados grew heavier and softer, blending into the background as the market demanded smaller, thriftier cars. Between 1969 and 1980, only 3 major magazine features covered the Toronado, an afterthought compared to the constant spotlight on muscle cars and imports. What began as a revolution faded into near silence, the car's innovation buried by the rush of changing times. A Nebraska farm silo held one of the rarest finds in recent memory, a first-year Toronado with its Rocket 5.8 silent under decades of dust and hay. Jack Miller, a collector with a knack for chasing rumors, traced the car's history through a web of small-town leads and parts suppliers. Pulling the Toronado into daylight, he faced the same challenge that stumps even seasoned restorers, finding a chain drive for the Unitized Power Package. Replacement parts meant calling in favors, combing through old dealer stock, and sometimes waiting months for a specialty shop to machine the right gear. Yet, with patience and a few late-night wrench sessions, Miller brought the car back to life, proving that these forgotten coupes can still turn over and run strong when given a second chance. First-generation Toronados have climbed nearly 30% since 2020, with pristine examples now fetching over $50,000. Collectors point to the car's influence on the personal luxury coupe boom, but the real validation comes from experts like Susan Lee, curator at the Peterson Automotive Museum. She describes the Unitized Power Package as a giant Swiss watch, precision engineering hidden beneath luxury. The Toronado stands today as proof that front-wheel drive could handle American V8 power, quietly shaping the future of Detroit's grandest cars. Today, the Toronado's boldness sits in the shadow of nostalgia, reminding us how easily true innovation slips by. Sometimes what fades from view still steers the future. Share your memories below.